General Counsel and Chief Privacy Officer at Zeus Health. I will clarify that I did not say it was the worst panel that I've ever heard or been privy to listen to. But I definitely did have some significant concerns with kind of how everything kind of laid out. There were definitely some positives though, and we can talk about that if you want. I spend my day to day kind of working on regulatory, privacy, some information security, and then anything else that I might need to do as a legal department of one. Where I really struggled was with some of the use cases and taking a step back generally. You know, those use cases were really hard use cases. And the responses that were received in a lot of ways were very subjective. So I think I even remember you saying, "Oh, in my gut, this doesn't feel right."
Right.
And so that as an attorney, I don't love that answer because it is a very subjective take. It's not based in any objective parameters or framework. And I have been hearing things about people saying, "Well, that's not good treatment." So I don't feel good about it because it's not good treatment. It's like I don't know what that means. And so I did feel like there was a lot of subjective feedback being discussed on stage. And if that was the intent, that's fine. But I do think that the takeaway from that panel was really not, hey, everyone has worked really, really hard over the past year, given Epic, given the particle dispute, in really trying to set a baseline for everyone to understand. Here's the baseline. Here's why this is the baseline. Here are the parameters, the transparency parameters, the trust parameters that we've put in place so that everyone can operate under one common idea or I guess definition, which is less fun to say, frankly.
Yeah.
Um, and so that was my biggest concern is when I came away, it was really, well, it really just what do you feel like? Specifically, Zeus uh, really focuses on the value-based care use case.
Right.
And one of those examples was a discussion
It
about whether
was.
or not, that particular example, and I don't remember the specifics of it. And of course, there's always nuances to everything. So I'm kind of speaking broadly. There were concerns, and I actually think that's where you said in my gut, this doesn't
Yeah.
feel right.
And I
And I
think
think, yeah, go ahead.
that, well, I think that part of what we were trying to say is that the definitions that we're using around what is treatment, whether it's HIPAA or something else that TEFCA is coming up with, it's still not, I would say restrictive is the wrong term, but it's not clear enough to make sure it includes that use case.
One of the things, if we take a step back and we say treatment and what are the use cases and how are these use cases helping patients, like truly improving care, saving lives, keeping people out of the hospital, and look at that and then dive into some of these examples. I do think some of those your gut feelings change a little bit. And so to just, pull up examples and to have people provide, subjective opinions. Not everyone was subjective, to be clear, but I was disappointed that I think the hard work that the people who have been, trying to build out policies for TEFCA, I was disappointed that voice really didn't find its way through. You know, very likely discussion being had right now is in terms of efficiencies and and what the government looks like now and what it could look like in the future.
Yeah.
I think that there are conversations going on right then. I think the biggest one that I am most concerned about would be, I mean, I feel like I'm here just talking about tough guy, but
Yeah. Okay.
the incredible amount of work that's been done and, really onboarding an entirely new framework so that you can have and address some of the problems, some of the trust issues, those things. It would be it would be not great. I guess if I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it.
You can say
If
shitty. It's okay.
it's
You're
shitty, it would be shitty if all that work was stripped out and stripped down. Do I think that's going to happen? No, I actually do not think that's going to happen. I'll be interested to see, though, what interest is taken with regards to TEFCA and and the potential expansion of TEFCA and some of the ways that you know, I'm hearing in terms of if you're using TEFCA for data interoperability and sharing, what else can TEFCA be used for? Well, I will say that having a conversation kind of out of nowhere at the Care Quality karaoke night with you was really great because I haven't had a chance to interact with you personally, but also I'd love to forge more relationships with other people who are may have different viewpoints because I think that the more conversations we can have, the more aligned we can get on what is truly important and how you know definitions strategy not strategies but going forward initiatives look like if we can all get in the same room and kind of understand exactly where everyone's coming from. So thank you very much for introducing yourself, and I'm so glad that you did. I
yeah.
think for the Trump administration it's gonna be a wild ride, and so there's gonna be some things that are gonna change, and my hope is that those things change for the better.